Hello, Picksters, and welcome to the first ever broadcast on the brand new YouTube page for the Picks, for YouPickCentral.com. I'm Joel Fry. I am the head of the Picks this year and in future years. Really excited about this. Just going to be a new dynamic for the website, for using the Picks. I am coming to you live here in Ankeny, Iowa. This is not an abandoned warehouse where I am being kept hostage. This is a temporary building for my work while we are building a brand new facility for what we do. So don't worry, you don't need to send out any Amber Alerts for me. I'm not being held captive against my will anywhere. This is an on-purpose place that I am right now. I know that it wouldn't seem that way. These rafters are not good acoustically for anything, let alone a YouTube broadcast. But let's get started. I am actually going to be going through my Lucky 7 picks this week for you, so that you know what not to pick, because I have gotten exactly 50% of my picks right in the Lucky 7 and barely over 50% for the entire season. So if you want to take anything I say seriously, you should consider your chances this season. Rethink those, because I don't know if you're going to be a legitimate contender if you look at this and then change anything about your picks based on what I say. So let's go through my Lucky 7 real quick. My first one is game number 5 on the docket on the website, YouPickCentral.com. It is Ohio State and Indiana. It is a 33-point spread, and I think Ohio State is going to win by much more. This is a big game for them. At home, they have a lot to prove, and they want to make sure that they leave an impression on the voters, on the computers, on everybody. This is a huge one for them, because if they keep getting leapfrogged, I'm not sure about the Big Ten strength of schedule this season. Any hope of getting into a national championship game rests on them taking care of business and taking care of it in a big way against teams like Indiana. Lowly teams. Awful teams. There are a few of them in the Big Ten this year. There's some good teams, but it's not as strong there toward the bottom. My game number 2, my Lucky 7, number 2 is Florida State versus Idaho, for much the same reason that Ohio State is my first Lucky 7 pick. Florida State, a 56-point favorite in this game against Idaho, which I think is in the National League Central at this point. They're not even playing football anymore. They are that poor. They've even won a game this year, yet if you look at their by-quarter numbers, they put up more potatoes on the scoreboard than they do in their fields. Let that sink in, and we're done. Florida State, I think, 56 points might be the point differential after the third quarter. This is a team that also has something to prove against an abysmal opponent. So I think Florida State handles themselves well. They've won games by 56 this year. I believe they do it again this week. Third game, first upset on my Lucky 7. Not the last, though. Preview alert. My third Lucky 7 is Iowa State and Kansas. I think Kansas wins this game. Iowa State is in a rough spot right now. And as poor as Kansas is, I don't think they blow this one, even though Iowa State playing this game at home in Ames, which I am dreadfully close to, being someone who was born and raised to bleed black and gold. I am sickeningly close to Ames, which is kind of the only downfall of being here in Des Moines. But I don't think Iowa State pulls this one off. This is Kansas's game to lose, even though they're down by a touchdown. Frankly, with Iowa State being at home, that means that they're only about a half a point favorite. This is essentially a pick 'em, and I pick Kansas to win this one. That's also my upset of the week this week, is Kansas over Ohio State, or over Iowa State. I keep being prone to say Ohio State, since I talked so much about them a little bit ago. My fourth Lucky 7 game, Wyoming versus Hawaii. Whenever I love picking Hawaii when they play at home, but when they play on the road, I love picking against them even more. Wyoming is a bit of a far cry from Hawaii, and frankly, the Rainbow Warriors haven't been taking care of business at home this year. So I don't think that they cover, and what is that spread? Oh my goodness, it is a 6.5 point spread. Yeah, take Wyoming. This is one where I said, take my picks with a grain of salt. This is one I wouldn't blame you one bit if you grabbed Wyoming in this, took the points, and ran with them. Game number 25, my fifth lucky 7, LSU versus Texas A&M. That's also the game of the week. So that is a 4-point spread. LSU is favored by 4 at home. I am taking A&M. There's been a lot of press about Texas A&M coming into this game. I feel like they are going to win this one in a blowout. My game of the week score prediction, Texas A&M 38, LSU 24. Again, there's probably a reason why I've only gotten half my picks right this year, and some people are hovering around getting 2/3 of them right. So don't know if you're dying to get my opinion on how I think these games are going to go, but I feel like Texas A&M wins this one by 2 touchdowns over LSU, embarrasses them at home, makes Les Miles even more of a clown than he already is, or at least feel like one. My sixth lucky 7, the penultimate lucky 7 game that I'll be talking about today, is Notre Dame and BYU. Notre Dame is a 1-point favorite at home against BYU in this Holy War. I feel like Notre Dame is going to have a strong end of their season. I am buying into Notre Dame finishing the season strong, and you can't buy into anything without the letters BYU. Let that sink in, and we're done. Okay, 7th lucky 7. The final one is going to be game 31 at upickcentral.com, Baylor versus Oklahoma State, and this is the biggest surprise. I'm surprised in myself that I'm taking this one. I've got Oklahoma State beating Baylor. Oklahoma State's going to have a big home crowd. They are going to be fired up for this game. This is a huge one. This was a great option for a game of the week, but ended up going with a highly touted matchup there in the SEC. But I would not have blamed myself if I had taken this one as well. Baylor coming into this one a 9.5-point favorite. Not necessarily saying that they're going to lose this game, but it's going to be closer than that near double-digit spread. Oklahoma State's going to come in ready. Baylor kind of feels like the kind of team that could blow a game at some point. Their offense is very high-powered, and it really is, what they lay their head on at night is that offense. If you slow it down, even an iota, you're going to have a chance in this game, including Oklahoma State today. So I feel like this is going to be one where it's definitely not going to be a blowout. I'll be shocked if Baylor blows Oklahoma State out of the water. I think Okie State keeps it close, and they might lose by a touchdown. We'll see, but I don't think 9.5 points is fair to them. All right, that is the Lucky 7 Picks, the first ever YouTube video here at upickcentral.com. You can find this on the YouTube page, youtube.com/upickcentral, and send it out to your friends, let them see. In case they want to join, you can go to www.upickcentral.com, get excited about next season, and we've got the Bulls coming up soon. That's going to be a wild ride. More content coming up later. I'm Joel Fry from Guantanamo Bay. I will see you guys later. Thanks a lot.